Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jason, homeschool teacher, mentor to teens, and this is going to be by far my most favorite video that I've made yet and probably will ever make because it's just something I'm so passionate about and just something that I think can really alter the way we teach dyslexics. Now, in my teaching career thus far, I've worked with probably upwards of 100 kids by now who have had dyslexia through various different schools and just on my own as a private educator. And from what I've seen working in all these schools, from what parents have told me, and what adults have reached out and told me, is that all these dyslexic programs simply just focus on the literacy fundamentals: reading, writing, spelling, comprehension, and all those sort of English class basics. And while this is obviously extremely important for a dyslexic, it misses the mark. And there's two other areas that I think when a dyslexic has those two aspects in their education, they thrive and make so much more progress. So the first of those areas being fostering their genius. And whether a child is dyslexic or not, every single kid has their own unique and individual genius. We're all really good and have an inclination toward one thing. That's music for some people, some art, whether that's painting, building sculptures, again, art, engineering, so creating, building stuff, computers, coding, video games. Maybe it's sports and athletics for someone else. Maybe it's, the list goes on and on and on. Every kid, especially a dyslexic, has that one area where they simply just thrive. And for a dyslexic, they've went so many years in their schooling feeling less than and inadequate compared to their peers, less intelligent than all the kids around them. Most kids get diagnosed with dyslexia usually around the 13, 14 age range. So that means from kindergarten all the way to 8th or ninth grade, they went through schooling being called, lazier than the other kids, unmotivated, always thinking they were basically just stupider than everyone else because they had this undiagnosed dyslexia that they didn't even realize. And then poof, they get diagnosed with dyslexia and it doesn't help their confidence. They still went through all those years of schooling feeling like an educational outsider, feeling marginalized compared to the other kids, when in reality, they just learned differently and they just needed to be taught in a different way. So by focusing and fostering their genius, you're playing to their strengths. You're immersing them in the area where their literacy fundamentals and all of that educational anxiety that they've gotten doesn't matter because they're thriving. This is the area where they excel. And this leads into the next area, which is self-esteem and confidence. Like I just said, they went through their entire schooling, right, up until when they got diagnosed. That could be 8, 9, 10 years even, maybe even more. Maybe they never even got diagnosed, right? That takes such a toll on their confidence and self-esteem. I know this because I see it with the kids I've worked with. Parents have told me, the kids have told me, right? When you feel less intelligent than your peers, it absolutely destroys your confidence. So for a dyslexic, especially one that got diagnosed way later in their schooling, they've just always felt not as intelligent as their peers. So their confidence and their self-esteem took an absolute hit. So when you have them immersed in their genius, immersed in projects and activities where they get to really flex their intelligence, it makes them realize that, okay, maybe I struggle in school a little bit because of my dyslexia, but clearly I'm really intelligent at this thing or multiple things, and I'm not as inadequate or less than my peers. I'm just good at different things, and I learn differently. That really helps to boost their confidence and boost their self-esteem. And then when you tack on other things to help boost their confidence and self-esteem, they're going to just feel more intelligent. They're not going to feel as inadequate like they used to. They're going to believe in themselves, which is going to increase their willingness to tackle the literacy fundamentals. When they're feeling confident, when their self-esteem is boosted, they're going to feel like they actually can take on reading, writing, that, okay, I'm not doomed forever. I actually can do this. So when they start to have that increased willingness and they take on the literacy fundamentals and they start to make improvements, their confidence just boosts even more. Their overall intelligence increases because they can read better, they can write better, they can comprehend better, which makes whatever projects they're working on in their genius field even better. Better literacy fundamentals means you're going to be able to learn and do more and progress more in whatever your genius is, which is then going to increase your confidence even more because you're going to continue feeling more intelligent, which is then going to continue to increase your willingness to take on the literacy fundamentals. And you have this amazing cycle that just keeps going and going. But that progress, that growth for a dyslexic only happens when you include confidence and self-esteem boosting and fostering of their genius. If they only focus on their literacy fundamentals, they're missing out on these other two areas, and they just don't progress nearly as much. I've seen it. The kids I've worked with who, whether it's me or their parents, actively try to boost their confidence and immerse them in whatever they love doing and whatever they're great at, those kids always progress more than the ones that just focus on literacy fundamentals. Sure, their reading and writing can improve, not as much as the other kids, but their happiness, their self-esteem, their confidence doesn't improve, and they don't get to discover the thing that they're really good at. So by only focusing on literacy fundamentals, you're missing out on so much growth. So that's my approach to helping the kids I work with who have dyslexia. It's been incredibly successful for the kids I work with. And I hope anyone watching this who either has dyslexia or if you're a parent who has a child with dyslexia, you really focus on building confidence, fostering the genius, and I guarantee you progress and growth will come in all areas. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.